Welcome to AnyHoop Pod with your boy JC Medulla. We here, we back for another episode, man. Listen, bro, I know y'all miss me. I know y'all miss y'all, boy. You feel me? We've been going for Thanksgiving break. My birthday was this weekend. My birthday was on Friday. You feel me? I tried to go to the Sixers game. I wanted to go to the Sixers Lakers game, but those tickets prices was crazy, and we was thinking, oh, maybe Brian not even gonna play. But Brian ended up playing, and he had a good game too. I ain't even gonna lie, he had a good game. I wasn't planning on talking about that today, to really be honest, but we could talk about that a little bit today. We could definitely dive into that a little bit today. But what I had going on today was we're gonna talk about some of the historical milestones that happened this weekend. We're gonna talk about some of the crazy scoring nights, and we had some close games that came down to 1 point. Talk about something about that. We're gonna talk about how the Knicks is looking. Listen, I was talking about the Knicks last week, 2 weeks ago, how they was looking a little shaky. You feel me? OG is back. Hey, we're gonna talk about that. Listen, the Pistons still doing what the Pistons do, bro, and they still out there grinding, bro. Let me make sure I got this right. They are still at the top of the standings, bro. They have not budged. They have not moved. You feel what I'm saying? They still up here showing y'all that they are really here. They really around. I just want to make sure I get the standings right for y'all. But yes, they are 19-5, 10-2 at home, 8-3 away. They're good on the road team. They're good at home team. They doing their thing, bro. We're gonna talk about that a little bit too. Then the Wolves grinding out another W over the Clippers, bro. It was a close game. It was definitely a close game, bro. It went down to the wire. You feel what I'm saying? But old heads, listen, we're gonna talk about it, bro. We're gonna talk about them, how the Clippers might ruin the NBA, or they probably are gonna ruin the NBA. You feel what I'm saying? And the Magic 1 point win over Miami, bro. That was real close, bro. And it was a good game, bro, with some coach adjustments going on there. There's a little tactical adjustments I seen going over there. A lot of zone being played, a lot of man to zone switching. There's a lot going on over there. And that's what I wanted to start in first, bro, because it was my favorite game, bro. Definitely my favorite game to talk about. Definitely had to make sure I talked about it here, bro, because that last play, it came down to the one last play, bro. That was real close, bro. That was like, if other decisions was made, Miami Heat might have won that game, bro. They might have won that game. They was down a little bit. The Magic was taking control. Desmond Bane has been real aggressive, bro. He's not slowed down since Paolo came back. Paolo's back. Paolo's hitting some shots, bro. He came back. He hitting the three a little bit. It was really good, bro. They defense is looking legit, bro. They locking down. Wagner with the mask, doing this thing. You feel what I'm saying? They learning how to stay poised in these close games, bro. You feel what I'm saying? That's something that we didn't see in the beginning of the season, which led to some of the L's that they took in the beginning of the season, bro. Because look, they was always playing in the close games, but they was losing those close games. Whatever happened, like I said, remember I was telling y'all they won against the Sixers, and I was like, damn, this might be the dub that turned them around. They start turning it around, bro. I'm not even gonna lie. They start turning it around. On Miami side, bro, they played really well. I like how they mix in the zone defense with the man defense. It's a little tricky. It's a little college. It helps them survive. And I feel like teams who have a big something like Bam Adebayo as far as like stature and size, you feel what I'm saying, and not as far as skill, because you can't find a lot of Bams out there. You feel what I'm saying? Bam is a special player, but as far as like you got a smaller center, you feel what I'm saying, and we got like a power forward, somebody that's really a power forward, to be honest, playing as a five, you can use zone and man at the same time. You feel mix them in and out to try to really they try to really disguise Bam and make sure that the size don't play a big advantage. That's how they're able to survive against like the Nuggets and teams like that who got bigs, you feel what I'm saying, that could probably out muscle Bam. You feel what I'm saying? They supply that with people like Andrew Wiggins and people like that that's trying to help him out a little bit. You feel me? Definitely help him out a little bit. But Norman Powell, bro, at the end of the game, bro, it came down to the last play, and Orlando's defense executed their defensive plan better than Miami executed their offensive plan. And I feel like if Norman Powell just cut the opposite way that he went behind Bam. If he would have just cut inside and like reject the dribble handoff, if he would have rejected the dribble handoff and just went in and cut, he would have drew like two defenders, bro. Somebody would have been open, or he wouldn't have drew two defenders. He would have had a wide open lane to the bucket. Bam would have just dropped it off. Or he would have drew Bam's defender down to him because he cut where he cut, and Goodness gracious. We back. Sorry about that. I got a call. I'm crazy. You know what I'm saying? I'm crazy. All right, but yeah, that's what I felt, bro. To tell y'all again, to re-summarize what I was talking about, I felt as though if Norman Powell would have cut inside, bro, and rejected the dribble handoff, he would have had a better opportunity to score or cause a scoring opportunity for one of his teammates. You feel what I'm saying? And they just did not execute that right, which led to the L that they took. You feel me? So, you know, shout out to the Magic though. Great defense. Everybody stayed home. Everybody locked their man down. You feel what I'm saying? It was cool. I like that. You feel me? Who do you think takes a bigger leap this year though? Because we've been talking about the Heat, bro, and the Heat, they've been sizzling. You know how the Heat rock, bro. They always there, they always around. You feel what I'm saying? But the Magic, they starting to turn it around and they starting to become one of the top teams of the East, bro, that we wanted them to see. You feel what I'm saying? They creeping up, bro. They was down there in that 8 area, that 9 area. They creeping up to 5, bro. You feel what I'm saying? How many games behind are they? They are only like 2 games, but they like a game behind Boston, who was in the 3rd spot. You feel what I'm saying? They about 2 games behind New York. You feel me? They are a total of 5 games behind the Pistons. They right there in striking distance. You feel what I'm saying? Where the Heat, on the other hand, they right underneath them. They got the same record. So that was a good one to see. You feel what I'm saying? The East is heating up, bro. I'm telling y'all, even though the East got weak teams compared to the West, that the West got better teams. You feel what I'm saying? Better players. You feel what I'm saying? The East, the competition amongst the Eastern teams, bro, in the Eastern Conference, bro, it's always intense, bro, and it's always entertaining, bro. Definitely always entertaining. So now let's move on to the second joint that I want to talk about. James Harden. Shout out to my man James Harden, bro. The beard, bro. He one of my favorite shooting guards of all time. And he went ahead in the Timberwolves game. He went up here and passed Carmelo Anthony for the 10th spot in all-time scoring. So shout out to my dog, bro. All-time scoring, bro. His 21st bucket in that game, bro. He went ahead and passed Carmelo, bro. And it was great to see, bro. James Harden is one of the greatest regular season shooting guards you will ever see, bro. You can't argue that, bro. I'm talking about from his time in Houston, his time in OKC, bro, his time over here on the Clippers, this little bit of time he had on the Clippers, bro, even his time over here in Philly, bro. We got to see him, bro. We got to see him here in Philly. Shout out to the hat. You see me? We got to see him here in Philly, bro. He's one of the greatest regular season shooting guards of all time. If you need to make it to the playoffs, bro, you're not missing the playoffs. You're not missing the playoffs with that man on your team, bro. He's going to give you an all-star, all NBA level performance going through the regular season, bro. Listen, bro. He needed 20 points to get it done, and he got it done, bro. Now they did lose the game. But my man James Harden ended with 34 points. And we know that the Clippers are not bad because of James Harden, bro. We all know that. And that's often one of the reasons why he gets the pass and why we get to talk about him, how we get to talk about him, bro, because his teams have not always been up to par, bro. It's not always been his fault why he hasn't went as far as he went, bro. You feel what I'm saying? But what this means to me, bro, listen, his resume is up there, bro. This is something great to put on your resume, bro. This, again, further his argument for being one of the greatest shooting guards of all time, bro. We got to go back. We got to go back to breaking it down, bro, with the position sometimes, bro. That's just how I feel, bro, because, like, it's better. This guy play your position. You feel what I'm saying? He does what you supposed to do. He can do everything that he do, you can do. You feel what I'm saying? He's not 7 foot. You feel what I'm saying? It's about the same height, you feel what I'm saying, about the same skill set you have access to. You feel what I'm saying? It's just about how you utilize it, how you go on the court. You feel what I'm saying? Everybody got strengths and weaknesses. You feel me? So boom. Being as that, bro, his resume now, he got MVP, 3 scoring titles, multiple assist titles. You feel what I'm saying? 10 top 10 in scoring. You feel what I'm saying? And he might pass Shaq for 9th this season. You feel me? That's what I'm saying, bro. We getting closer and closer to the status right here. So now, what probably is the next question, bro, is what tier we gonna put him in now? You feel what I'm saying? He up there with the AIs. He up there with the Steve Nashes. You feel what I'm saying? Me personally, I always got Dwayne Wade as like the bar for if we talking about the GOAT shooting guards. Dwayne Wade to me is the 3rd greatest shooting guard of all time. Is Dwayne Wade better than James Harden? Has James Harden passed up Dwayne Wade? I don't think so. But it could be an argument. You feel what I'm saying? We talking about he's scoring a lot of points, doing a lot of buckets. His resume is his resume, bro. You feel what I'm saying? I just don't think because he don't got the rings. You feel me? Rings do matter. Rings do matter. He went less. He definitely got 1 Finals MVP. He led his team all the way to the finals. You feel what I'm saying? And won it all. You feel me? He got Finals MVP with Shaq on his team. You feel me? He did that. He also helped win 2 more rings, being the number 2 option to LeBron James in Miami when LeBron came over there and he won his 2 rings over there. You feel me? So he got those 2. You feel me? Dwayne Wade. So I got Dwayne Wade over James Harden, but James Harden may be that 4th best shooting guard of all time. Who do y'all got over James Harden? Or is James Harden definitely arguably the number 4? You got that number 4 spot of top shooting guards of all time. I don't know. I think he do though. Who else will we have over him? There's a lot of shooting guards, but we got Ray Allen. Is he better than Ray Allen? That's a question right there. Is he better than Ray Allen? Ray Allen got the rings. Ray Allen got the playoff resume. Clay? Better than Clay? I think he's better than Clay. I definitely think he's better than Clay. Clay got the rings. But I think he's better than Clay. He probably better than Clay. You feel me? I don't know. He's probably better than Clay. But that's James Harden. That's the James Harden segment. You know, so shout out to James Harden, top 10 of all-time scoring. His team sucks. So that sucks for him. You feel me? He's in basketball purgatory. That also sucks for him. Oldest team in NBA. It's not looking too good for the Clips. You feel me? But James Harden career shines nonetheless. All right, let's move on to the Knicks, bro, who went 2-0 at home this weekend. They turning things around. OG back. Even though he's missing Cat, OG's back, and the defense is here to stay. You feel what I'm saying? They lock it down on defense. They got that dub against the Magic. That was a good dub against the Magic, bro. They also defeated the Jazz, bro. They put buckets up on the Jazz. They was cooking the Jazz. They damn near had like 50 points in the first quarter. They had like 40-something points in the first quarter, bro. They was cooking in the first quarter, and then they're cooking the Jazz, bro. They put 146 points up against the Jazz, bro. Then they went ahead and edged it out against the Magic, bro. They was going back and forth. The Magic was rumbling back, bro. Paolo was hitting some threes, bro. Jalen Suggs, his aggression, right? The fact that he's willing to take shots and the fact that he's willing to attack the basket at times where the pressure is on Paolo and times where the pressure is on Wagner. He that 3rd guy that pushed the pressure, bro. When Desmond Bane going crazy, you feel me? And what was up with Desmond Bane throwing a ball at OG like that? That was crazy, but I don't know. I'm like, that was crazy. That was crazy. That was out of pocket. He was kind of out of line for that. There was no reason to do that. That's out of line. Neither here. But Jalen Suggs' aggression, it really helps the Magic, bro. It's part of the reason why the Magic is on their way back into the top standings of the East. You feel what I'm saying? But they was not able to do that against the Knicks because what I see against the Knicks right here is that, like I said, OG back, so the defense back. They got the intensity back. You even turned up Mitchell Robinson, bro. He looking a little bit more spry out there. He catching oops and stuff like that. He looking better. You feel what I'm saying? You got Josh Hart. I was talking trash about Josh Hart, bro. My last TikTok might have been about Josh Hart. You feel me? But Josh Hart, more aggressive. hitting his shots now. You feel what I'm saying? He just got to take more, bro. If you just take more, bro, you can't stop at 3, bro. You take only 3 threes, bro, it's going to look bad, bro. If you miss one, like, it's just going to look bad. You went 2 for 3. You feel what I'm saying? Only 1 for 3. It's not good, bro. Put them things up, bro. You in 2025, bro. We're going into 2026, bro. In this NBA, bro, we shoot threes, bro. I don't know what you on, bro. We shoot threes, bro. But the Knicks, with their toughness, bro, and the scrappiness from the bench players, because listen, they got a good scrappy bench. They got a bench that go out there and play with heart. And no pun intended, Josh Hart, no pun intended. But they got a bench that go out there and play with heart. You feel what I'm saying? So without Cat, they always are ready for the next man up mentality, bro, because they always getting hurt. And then it's a little easier because we just relying on JB. We not worried about the delicate dance that we got to play with Cat and JB. Your turn, my turn, A1, 1A, 1B type situation. You feel what I'm saying? Also, the defense could turn up a little bit because Cat is a liability out there on defense. Cat is definitely a liability out there on the defensive end, bro. I don't care what nobody try to tell you, bro. Don't let them lie to you, bro. Here on AnyHoop Podcast, we do not lie out here, bro. And he is not one of them when it comes to the defensive end. He one of them on the offensive end. And that's why a lot of teams like him. That's why we traded for him. He's going to bolster the offense. You feel me? But I like what Mike Brown doing, bro. I like the ball movement. I like the trust. I like the defensive communication because Mike Brown is also a defensive-minded coach. You feel what I'm saying? He just learned the high-power offense of the Golden State Warriors, and he was able to implement some of that into his own stuff. You feel me? So I like the role clarity. Everybody got a great role. Everybody coming in and play a role, just like I was saying with the bench, bro. And OG came back and fulfilled his role, bro. And this is one of them teams that they need all their pieces fulfilling their role for them to win. So I'm not saying they play better without Cat. They just play different without Cat, and they're able to adjust to play without Cat. So when Cat come back, we adjust. We really got to lock in on adjusting to what happens when Cat come back, because I feel like that's the part where they having the most trouble at, is playing with Cat and having that 1-2 punch with Cat and Jalen Brunson. It's giving me Giannis Dame vibes, to really be honest with y'all. It's giving me Giannis Dame vibes where it's like, I don't know if it's ever going to connect like that. You feel me? Like how it's supposed to, how we think it's going to, really connect. They're going to try to make it work, though. The one thing I like is they forcing them in those situations where they got to make it work, but we'll see. We'll see. And obviously, Cat is a shooter. He's a better shooter than Giannis, so it should be able to work because a pick and pop should work. You feel me? But we just got to see. Other than that, let's shift to Detroit. They got their W, a statement W over, guess who? The Bucks. You feel me? Just what we was talking about. 124-112 against the Bucks. Not a fluke. Great stepping up. Cade was in command. He dropped his 24, 12 assists. You feel what I'm saying? Jalen Duren playing physical, playing dominant, bro. Same thing I've been saying about the Pistons all day. Same thing I started off just with, bro. The Pistons are for real, bro. And they are what Cleveland was last year. They are that this year. You feel what I'm saying? They are the Cleveland of the East this year. You feel me? And they're making a statement, bro. And how I personally feel is that they are good enough to get maybe to the Eastern Conference Finals. That's like the ceiling I have for this team, bro. They may not make it out the East because they don't got the experience. But OKC showed you that a team that lacks experience make up for it with talent and skill. And Cade Cunningham just may be as good as SGA. You feel what I'm saying? He's not there yet, but he may be, as far as skill, as far as ability and potential, he may be just as good as SGA. You feel what I'm saying? So now that we got our SGA, we got our guy, it's time for us to make a run. Their team isn't as full as OKC. You feel what I'm saying? As far as everybody playing their role to the fullest and all the rules being fulfilled as far as pieces on the team. They still got a couple pieces they can add to the team to make it better. They need that vet like how they got. I don't know, Alex Caruso is still young, to be honest, but they need a vet like Alex Caruso, you feel what I'm saying, to come over there. Tobias Harris not that. And when they get rid of Tobias and they're trading for another piece, they'll probably, or, drop him and pick out somebody else. That's probably going to be the last iteration of that team right there where they really turn up. So that's that. So shout out to them. So I really think that this is a real team. I really think they serious, bro. They out here cutting hard, bro. The communication is good, bro. They running better actions, bro. Cade is stepping up, bro. Cade is really becoming a problem as the years progress, bro. He really becoming a problem in the NBA, bro. I'm saying, like, we got 3 years before we really talking about Detroit, bro. Really being one of those staple teams in the East, bro, that we got to talk about. You feel what I'm saying? I want to see how they stack up when we got Indiana fully healthy and we got Boston fully healthy, because this is one of those anomaly years where Boston's not good. And, like, the teams that made it to the Eastern conference or the top of the East last year are hurt this year. You feel what I'm saying? The top teams in the East last year are hurt this year. So, and they're the young stars. They're the guys who's going to carry the East for a couple years. So they kind of weak right now. You feel what I'm saying? But other than that, that's pretty much it. We got some quick hits. The Celtics blow out the Lakers. That was disgusting. You feel what I'm saying? But the Lakers pick up a W against the Sixers. You feel what I'm saying? They beat up on the Sixers. Warriors split the weekend, one tough loss, and then a blowout win. So shout out to the Warriors. You feel what I'm saying? The Nuggets in Atlanta, they went back and forth with a 1-point clash. You feel what I'm saying? That was going on. And then the Rockets handled the Suns, bro. You feel what I'm saying? That was a good one to see. KD back in town. You feel me? A little rivalry that was going on right there. You feel me? And then the Sixers pick one up against the Bucks. Shout out to my Sixers. Shout out to my hometown, bro. You feel me? I still got faith that maybe we can just still be a dark horse in the East. You feel me? Still maybe put something together. You feel me? But other than that, bro, that was a good weekend we had going on. We got some tight teams playing back and forth, bro. We had some good games, 1-point games. You feel me? James Harden made history. You feel me? We got the Cup heating up again. We're going to talk about the Cup maybe tomorrow. I'll probably come in Cup tomorrow or Wednesday. We're going to talk about the Cup. You feel me? And like I said, we got history being made. James Harden, top 10 all time. Shout out James Harden. You feel me? Other than that, thanks for kicking it with me, bro. That is my time. If you are watching this on replay, go ahead and check out the rest of the content that we got for you, bro. And I appreciate, everybody coming out here and kicking it with me, bro. Let's keep hooping.